Overthinking is a trap, plus how to get unstuck. Do you overthink for days, weeks, even months, and nothing changes? You're probably stuck in ambiguity, and it's killing your momentum. I'm Elizabeth, and I'm a breakup artist. That means I help you break up with what's holding you back so you can reclaim clarity and momentum. Today, we're talking about the importance of decision making and why there's no such thing as the right one, just the one that gets you moving. And if you're circling a decision right now that feels impossible, check out my free clarity shortcut worksheet linked below. Okay, so how do we get out of the overthinking loop and step into decisive action? In this video, we'll cover what it means to be decisive, why decision is nothing without action, and how to silence regret once you make a move. Let's dive in. Part 1. What it means to be decisive. Decisiveness is about the quality of being final, or definitely settled. You're not entertaining multiple pathways, not bouncing between options, you're not stuck in analysis paralysis. You've made a choice and you're in. You're focused, you're not hedging your bets. Now, deciding can feel paralyzing because you may be afraid of making the wrong choice. What if pops into your mind and you start to create scenarios of ways your life may be ruined? I promise you, you can't make a wrong choice. But I'll talk more about that later in the video. In order to be decisive, you need to be clear on what you actually want. Do you want a new job? Do you want more time for your passions? Do you want to travel more? What actually matters to you? You want to be clear on what you care about and why you care about it so that you're making aligned decisions. If that feels hard, you'll want to check out my video, Why You're Stuck Even With a Clear Goal, also linked below. So how do you make a decision? Here are a few things that help. Know your values, understand what you truly want, not just what you think you want, consider the version of you want to become, and set a clear intention. If you'd like me to dive deeper into any of those, hit the like button and leave a comment so I know what videos to prioritize next. And if you subscribe, you'll get notified when the next video is out. Part 2. Decision is nothing without action. Only when you made a decision and follow it with action do things start to change. Action is what shifts the world and creates momentum. Think of it like the butterfly effect or the domino effect. Once you act, the world around you starts moving with you. But when you're stuck in indecision, just contemplating and weighing options, thinking it through, nothing's happening. You're wasting time. And time spent in limbo often leads to more of the same day over and over. Once you start taking action aligned with your decision, you'll start getting feedback. And that feedback will lead to more clarity. And with more clarity, more decisions, more action, and ultimately more progress. Remember, a decision is just a thought. And thoughts alone, they won't change your life. Thoughts alone are like sitting on a couch, wrapped up in wishful thinking. Unless you're telepathic, you have to get up and move. Ask yourself, what would need to happen for me to act on my decision? What would need to happen for me to act on the action? It's kind of like the 5 whys. Repeating the question why 5 times, each time directing the current why to the answer of the previous why. Break it down to the smallest step you can take, then take it today. Being a breakup artist, one of my favorite ways to think about this is this. What do I need to break up with right now to get moving? Part 3. Why regret is a lost cause. Regret is pesky. It can also be completely misleading. What's worse, regret can become rumination, keeping you stuck in the past. Replaying conversations, rerunning decisions, trying to imagine what could have happened if you had done something different. Don't confuse rumination with reflection. Reflection allows you to pull forward experience and lessons, while ruminating will keep you stuck in the moment you're trying to leave, the one you're trying to move on from. What you want is to bring those lessons into the now, because now is the only moment you have power over. There was no right or wrong decision in action. Every experience, every mistake, every risk got you to this moment. And honestly, it's the only place you can move forward from. So instead of beating yourself up for who you were and what you did, what would happen if you were to thank yourself for getting you here? Thank this past version of you for doing the best they could with what they had. The info they had, the time they had, the money they had, the experience they had, connection, pain, happiness, etc. Thank them for bringing you this far. Then thank yourself for the clarity you have right now and take your next aligned step. I know this can sound easier said than done, so let me give you a personal example. There was a point in my career, actually many points, that I didn't realize until recently, when I felt deeply misaligned at work. But I'll focus specifically on one that really left me feeling low. It wasn't that the company was bad. In fact, I really liked the company and its mission. But I felt off with management, and the politics were draining me. There was a lot of this he said, she said, and people playing to others' opaque reasonings and agendas. It was starting to wear on my confidence, clarity on who I was, what I wanted, and what I was actually capable of. I had a few options. I could stay and try to ignore all these red flags, stay while passively looking for something else, or leave without a backup. Each option had its pros and cons and varying degrees of risk. What if something didn't go to plan? What would be the cost? I could think about scenarios forever, but the longer I waited, the longer I would be in the situation I wanted to leave. Or worse, my decision would be made for me by others. I had to decide. I wanted to decide. I reminded myself of something important. I never fully know how any option would play out. So I decided to decide. These are the questions that helped me decide. What would energize me the most? What would drain me the fastest? What did I know was within my control? And who did I want to be at my most successful self? And what would that version of me do in this moment? With those answers, I had my decision. I decided to leave without any other job lined up. It was a scary and a very risky choice. But because I had become so clear on my values, what I wanted, and who I am when I'm the best version of myself, the choice of leaving felt most aligned. And sure enough, it worked out. I gave notice with plenty of time for a smooth transition. Even though I wasn't happy there, I didn't want to leave others feeling the gap and unnecessary pressure. Before my last day, I got an offer for a new role, one more aligned with what I wanted. So, what about regret? I look back at times and think, man, if I would have stayed, I could have vested and had more stock, more money. But do I regret my decision and action? Honestly, no. It all took me down a path and led me to where I am now. Without a decision and action, I wouldn't have had the same experience or clarity I have now. I wouldn't be here. If you're ready to break up with what's draining you and create more energy in your life, I have something for you. It's called the Clarity Shortcut, and I'll help you identify the relationships, even the hidden ones that are holding you back. It's linked below. I know some of this may sound silly, and that's okay. My goal isn't to convince you. It's only to offer what works for me and my clients so you can use it if it feels right. Break up with the paths you didn't take. Embrace the ones you did. And own the one you're walking now. Whether you move slow or fast, you're still moving. If you want slow, start with the Clarity Shortcut. If you're ready for fast but want support making bold moves, let's talk. And if this video helped, you'll want to watch the next one. That one will help you break up with indecision at the root. Because remember, every breakup creates space for something better. I'll see you next time.